The Nvidia stock has been on my must-have list since 2016, and I've been buying it since it was only $32. Its stock price has now crossed above $530 right before Nvidia's RTX 3080 and 3090 graphics cards are announced. Now, are we bound to see a crash soon after the new graphics cards hype calms down? What has happened in the past to Nvidia's stock price after their major announcements? Should you add Nvidia's stock to your portfolio today, or is it way overpriced? Have I taken profit of my Nvidia stocks? Am I planning to add more shares? And if so, at what price? Today, I'm going to analyze the Nvidia stock from 5 points of my signature Invest Diva Diamond Analysis, which analyzes any asset from 5 points. Fundamentals, technicals, market sentiment, risk assessment, and overall how it can fit your portfolio, and of course, my most recent price targets. If you're looking to invest the right way and avoid the gambling style, I got your back. Please attend my free masterclass by going to learn.investdiva.com/yes to learn how you can get started the right way, and also get my risk management toolkit for free just for attending. We're going to cue in the intro, and while we do that, head over to the comment section and tell me, are you a gamer, or do you know somebody who is into gaming? I'm asking because my husband is a huge gamer, so I'd like to find him some new gaming friends. We're going to cue in the intro and let's go! Hey guys, I'm Kiana Danial, a four-time and a newly best-selling author and the founder of the Invest Diva movement, the march to jump on, to take control of your financial future and to make your money work for you. My mission is to help 1 million moms start investing on their own. So if you are one, and if you know a mom who could benefit from taking control of their financial future, please spread the word. The best place to start is learn.investdiva.com/yes. Nvidia is the leading designer of graphics processing units, or GPUs, and their chips are used in high-end PCs for gaming, data centers, and automotive infotainment systems, to name a few. Nvidia has an 80% market share when it comes to desktop dedicated GPUs, but many people are more familiar with Intel. And the reason why is that Intel has the biggest market share when it comes to integrated GPU and CPU units. For a general retail graphics card user, an integrated GPU could do the job, but if you're looking at the future of technology and things like artificial intelligence, then dedicated graphics cards are the way to go because they provide way more GPU power than integrated ones. Intel is also entering the dedicated GPU market on September 2nd, 2020 with their Xe graphics cards a day after Nvidia's announcement. However, it will probably take them some time to be able to compete with AMD and Nvidia GPUs. AMD could announce their new dedicated GPUs soon too, and that could provide yet another healthy competition for Nvidia. FYI, personally, I've been invested in AMD as well since 2016 when its stock price was just $1.86. The AMD stock price is now reaching $90. Now that we've been feeling about Nvidia's market share and competitors, let's get to the first point of the Invest Diva Diamond Analysis, the fundamentals. Nvidia reported stellar second quarter results in 2020 with revenue exceeding the midpoint of management's guidance. The company benefited from strong showings in both gaming and data center segments. Nvidia has a $323 billion market cap, pays a small dividend payment at 0.13% yield, and their next quarter earnings will be announced right after the US elections on November 12th. That's your first hint that we could see volatility in its stock price, right? But before that, Nvidia has been hyping up their ultimate countdown to celebrate their biggest breakthroughs in PC gaming since 1999 on September 1st at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. This kind of raises the question, is this event already priced in Nvidia's all-time high market price? Could we see a buy the rumor, sell the news type of sell-off in the weeks following this announcement? There are multiple ways to look at this. First, let's check out the market sentiment. The majority of quantitative analysts are either neutral or bearish on NVIDIA's stock price. Morningstar estimates NVIDIA's fair stock value at $250, which is literally half price of what it is right now. Now, while many investors, including myself, don't agree with this valuation, the important thing to note is that many investors also rely on media like Morningstar to form their investment strategy. So chances are those people who start selling their NVIDIA stock, putting pressure on its stock price in the medium term. Then we have the bears, who obviously don't have a clue about NVIDIA's partnerships with major AI players, who say NVIDIA is just entering the artificial intelligence market and you don't really can conclude that their GPU will dominate the field. Other bears say they wouldn't buy NVIDIA stocks because NVIDIA's automotive endeavors face plenty of competition and so many chip makers are targeting this market, and that a majority of NVIDIA's sales come from the maturing PC industry via PC gaming. Then we have the bulls, who say the artificial intelligence and deep learning phenomena that rely on NVIDIA's graphics chips present the firm with massive growth opportunity. NVIDIA has a first mover advantage in the autonomous driving market that could lead to widespread adoption to its Drive PX self-driving platform, and that the increasing complexity of graphics processors provides a barrier to entry for most potential rivals, as it would be difficult to match NVIDIA's large R&D budget. Now, you might have guessed it, but I am on the bull camp in the long run, and I've been buying NVIDIA stock all along. But I also believe we could see a temporary pullback, which could provide us with a better buying opportunity. But should you wait, even if you don't have any NVIDIA stock? Let's get to technicals for my price targets. Let's get to technicals. So first of all, on August 25th, we reached all of our profit targets for our premium investing group members. And as you can see, we have our new profit target set at 515, 606, as well as 662. But the thing that I'm very interested in is what happened to the NVIDIA stock price when they announced their previous RTX GPUs, the RTX 2070, and that was on September 20th. So let's take a look at the stock price back then. As you can see, the NVIDIA stock price was just on an uptrend for 2 years since 2016, and it reached an all-time high of 290 on September 28th. That is literally 8 days after the chip announcement. And we had a little bit of volatility on the day of the announcement. It actually dropped a little bit, then it went up. And then guess what happened? A week after the announcement, the NVIDIA stock price dropped towards the 61% Fibonacci retracement level. Now, of course, there is no guarantee that the same exact thing will happen this time around, especially if NVIDIA has a ton of surprises up on its sleeve when they announced their new RTX 3080 on September 1st. Today is August 31st, the day before the announcement. So we don't have all the data, and the stock price has reached a new all-time high above 535. Now, personally, I have NVIDIA all across my portfolios. On my Robinhood account, I have 105 shares. My average cost is $156, so my return is over $40,000. On my Interactive Brokers, I actually took profit at one of our profit targets. The reason being is that I'm not getting paid the dividend payments on my Interactive Brokers. Also, I'm trying to pull out my investments out of Interactive Brokers and actually bringing everything onto Robinhood. So I did take profit partially. So I only have 50 shares of NVIDIA here. My total return on investment, and this one, the unrealized return investment is $16,000. From my dad, I also had NVIDIA stocks, but I took profit for him because I believe that NVIDIA is a little bit risky for somebody who's over 80. It doesn't pay as much dividend payments. So I wanted to just take the profit before the volatility so that I can reinvest his assets in things that were more suitable to his risk tolerance. We took on the gains and we got out. Now, this doesn't mean that somebody who's young and doesn't have any NVIDIA stock in their portfolio shouldn't start buying even today at the all-time high prices. But if you already have the Nvidia stock and you're looking to add on to your portfolio, then you might want to consider setting buy limit orders at these key psychological levels. We have to readjust our key psychological levels now based on the new all-time high of August 31st. And this would readjust our buy limit orders to 445, 392, and 343. And based on Fibonacci retracement levels, our new profit targets are 630 and 688. If things go exactly the way they did when Nvidia announced their RTX 2080, we could expect a pullback towards the 61% Fibonacci retracement level as low as 296. This is actually very close to Morningstar's valuation of Nvidia stock. Well, they say 250, which is even below this. I think that's absurd. But 296 is a super important level. Why? Because first of all, it was the previous all-time high back in 2018, which created the resistance for Nvidia stock price right after the RTX 2080 announcement. It also acted as a resistance in 2020 in February and also in April. So this is a super important price level to look at. Now, it is obviously very hard to think that Nvidia stock price is going to drop this much, but nothing is out of the ordinary, especially because their earnings are coming after the US election. Obviously, we're expecting volatility before and after the US election. Again, nothing is guaranteed, but in the past few elections, we've seen a massive pullback in the majority of stocks, and all the other stocks have just ridden on the wave and dropped and then have seen gains. This also obviously depends on who's going to get into office. I'm not going to get political about this, but it is something that you want to keep in mind. Now, by not investing in the Nvidia stock today and waiting for it to pull back to 296, you are going to miss on an opportunity of further growth. So you have to really understand what you want to do, what is your risk tolerance, and how much risk you're willing to take for potential gains. If I did not have any Nvidia stock today, I would potentially consider buying it at around 520. I could see this level to be at least reached in the next phase of volatility, and I would hold on to it and set further buy limit orders at lower buy limit orders. But that is obviously just me. My willingness to take a risk is a little bit lower because I'm a mom and I don't like going all in, but somebody with a higher risk appetite psychologically and the actual ability to take a risk might want to go all in right today. But you should only do that if you actually have the stomach to weather through the volatility. The most important thing to consider when it comes to investing is asking yourself, will I be happy to buy more of the stock if it drops 50% tomorrow? If the answer is yes, then you can go ahead and buy a bunch of its stock shares today. So keep that in mind. Calculate your risk tolerance before you form an investment strategy. What is right for me may not be right for you. The way to do it is to calculate your ability to take a risk and your willingness to take a risk. Every person is different. If you don't know how to do it, just go to learn.investdiva.com/yes and get my risk management toolkit for free just by attending my free masterclass, where I also teach you how to invest in the stock market and my approach to making my money work for me. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and hit on that bell notification button so that you won't miss out on my next strategy development session. If you're an experienced trader and you're just looking for my strategies for hundreds of assets every single week, go to learn.investdiva.com/hello to get in my premium investing group, or the PIG, where I go live every Tuesday to analyze my portfolio and to answer my students' questions. Invest responsibly, and remember, the only path to true wealth is by making your money work for you.